Yo, and how's it going, Apple Army? Welcome back to the Gaming Apple. How you all doing today? I hope you're all doing good. Now, I was supposed to be doing my Stam Necro build today, and because the bloody servers have been down, for PlayStation at least, they're still down. I wanted it out for 5 PM. Time recording this now, it's nearly 6 o'clock, I think it's like 5:45. And I wanted to still give you guys a video today, and a tier list video is something that I had in mind to do anyway. So yeah, we'll just do the Stam Necro build tomorrow. Sorry for the guys that I said that would be coming out today. I'm so sorry, I should have recorded it last night. I know some of you are waiting on that build. Yes, sorry guys. But we'll do the tier list instead. The 1vx tier list for Blackwood. Right, let's get into it, guys. So we're going to go from left to right. I've laid them out, magic, stamina, as you can see all the way down. So basically in no particular order, right? So for the first one, we got Magicka, right? Magicka is performing really well this patch. Let's have a little talk about Magicka, right? Magicka in this patch, first of all, it has its cleanse, right? It has its cleanse. It's got amazing dot pressure this patch. I mean, you chuck Fortifier, Brassness, Armor Master, tanky as hell, and with damage being really high this patch, I don't know what it is. With maybe procs coming back, I don't know what's causing it, but Magicka is hitting like a truck, an absolute truck, and it's Xing really well. I mean, yeah, I'm very happy with how Magicka is performing. It's not too powerful, but it's definitely not a weaker class anymore. Definitely strong A tier. And with Magicka, we are now going to talk about Templar. And I think Magicka is actually performing better than Templar this patch. Now, how I determined Magicka to be an A is because I knew Templar was nothing less than a B+, right? From my testing of Templar, it's nothing less than a B+, right? Because it is still really good. You can do amazing AoE pressure, say with Dawnbreaker or sweeps, into jabs, Ballogs, you got cleanse, you got good stamina sustain. I mean, I think Stampler's performing really well. I just still think to get your damage out on Stampler, you need to be squishier. If you're not squishy, you go run and say fortified prior, you're not getting that damage to X in. And the only players you can X then are those shit players, basically. You're not getting any decent tankiness players because you don't have the damage. So that's the issue with Stampler, but Magicka has amazing pressure. I generally think Magicka is performing better than Stampler, but hit me if you think that's wrong. But from what I've seen, I was surprised to say it, but yeah, I think Magicka is better. Magsork, S tier, not wasting any time with that. You have Streak, you have loads of projectiles, I mean you have Overload, Desync, I say Desync, it's not even a desync at this point, it's just part of the game. I mean, it is a desync, but at this point I think everybody just accepts like Overload is just stupidly powerful, and it can hit you for like 3 of them hit you at once sometimes, like kind of like Snipe, but nothing gets done about it. And I mean, you got players going around doing that. You can Streak, you got your dark deal or your Magicka version of it, shield stacking, yeah. I think a good Magsork can keep their distance and take you from 100 to nothing like it's nothing. Yeah, 100 to nothing like it's nothing, yeah, in the open, which is awesome. Obviously, you have to be a very skilled Magsork. No Magsork can do that, but not every Magsork can do that. But yeah, really good Magsorks can get away with that. Then let's talk about Stamsork. So Stamsork is in an A+ situation here. And obviously not performing as strong as the Magsork, but it's definitely performing better than the Stampler, definitely performing better than Stampler, and Magicka definitely performing better than Magicka, because the thing with a Stamsork is that it still has that movement that Magsork has. It can still streak. Then it's got the minor expedition from its from having its armor buff up. Say you chuck Crystal Weapon with Onslaught, like see my build for example, I can run Engine Guardian, so it's a defensive monster set, run Onslaught, have the two-hand, have the two-hand ultimate with Crystal Weapon, Execute, Uppercut. I mean, and just through the passives with Stamsork, with the extra physical damage, and then with Critical Surge for your crit healing, you get really good offensive healing, and then at the same time you can drop people from 100 to nothing. And I think that's something that you've got to be able to do in an X situation. I think a really good X class, 1vx class, it can move around really well and then just drop players. Yeah. And sustain, which is something Stamsork can do very well. I've been able to get away with 1,600 stam recovery on Stamsork with Engine Guardian, and really do well. So I'm happy, very happy with how Stam Stalk is sitting this patch. Magicka C. I mean, I was tempted to put it D, but I mean, it's got its procs. What am I saying? It could very well be a D. C is just the bottom one I've got here, right, guys? Nothing else is going in here with the Magicka. It's in a league of its own, and not for a good reason. Basically, the skill costs is too high. The movement is terrible. It's not got decent burst. It's all pressure. So when you got, say, let's not even say 10 guys. Let's say, for example, 6 guys, 5, 6 guys. Right, you can't nuke a player. Say there's a healer in there. You're not going to be able to nuke a player like a Mag Sort can or a Stam Sort can, or even have some burst potential like the Templar and the Magplar with pressure. No, you've just got pure pressure, and if you go for burst, then you're too squishy to survive. Quite simply, you're a glass cannon, and then if people clench your stuff, your ability cost is way too high. Your sustain is terrible. I stand by that this is one of the best group classes in the game. Like for small scale, very small scale, like a 4-man group. I stand by that is one of the best classes in the game. But I don't think Magicka was designed to X. And time and time again, you'll see me put it at the bottom of a tier list until something's changed, or maybe they change how it works. The issue is, though, with changing Magicka is that it's part of the DK class, and Stam DK, which we're going to get onto now, is very strong as is, so reworking the DK class to make Magicka strong enough to X might, in how they do it, make Stam DK even stronger, and Stam DK is already at an A+, in my opinion. And the reason why it's at an A+ is, again, Stam DK is awesome, right? You've got your Venomous Claw, your Toxic Breath, your Fracture, 2 heavy dots there. You can add Uppercut to it with a nice Execute, Leap with the amazing damage, Stun. The burst potential that you can get in Stam DK is amazing. The mobility that you can get if you put a bow on it with Shuffle, yeah, Sustain can be really good on it. I mean, you can see my Stam DK build. Check out Nasty, fully of a Stam DKs. I mean, we've been nailing it this patch. I can't sit here and say that Stam DK is weak or that it needs a buff. I think Stam DK is one of the top classes in the game. Honestly, Stam DK is an amazing class, really fun to play, but looking at it from a neutral perspective, the best I can, I still think that it isn't an S tier. It is just sitting perfectly at an A+. Doesn't need to be buffed, doesn't need to be nerfed. It has pressure, it has burst. Yeah. And great sustain. So that's enough about Stam DK. Magblade. Now I'm going to talk about Magblade as if it was 2 separate classes. Like there were 2 different Magblade options. So you've got the bomber option, and then you've got the non-bomber option for 1vx, right? Now the bomber option, obviously going up here. Have you seen how many fucking bombers there are out this patch? They're everywhere. I've seen zergs of bombers. Zergs of bombers. They don't need zergs, right? They can bomb a Zerg by themselves. So seeing Zergs of bombers is fucking scary. That shit's fucking scary. Yeah, fucking hell. Magblades, bomber-wise, is up here. And I'm gonna judge the class off its max potential. And its max potential is to build into a bomber for an X playstyle. Because you've still got Shade, you've still got Teleport. So you can still, on a bomber class, shade away, teleport away, and move in and out. Yes, it's very stealthy, sneaky. But if it's played by a very skillful player, yes, it can X. Because it can still drop. Even if there's just one player, you can still bomb one player and drop them. Like, the amount of damage that Magblades have got this patch is unreal for bombing. And I mean, Magblades was designed for bombing. The class was designed for bombing. So yeah, I wouldn't be doing it justice if I didn't put it here as its max potential. But talking about then from a non-bomber's perspective, it would be in B. So still better than Magicka. B, it has good damage, burst potential. The issue is it doesn't have amazing burst potential. And it doesn't have amazing pressure. It's got average pressure. Maybe below average pressure. You got to have your procs and stuff in it, which, I mean, help it get out of the bottom class from Magicka. But yeah, I'd put it at a B because no way is it better than a Templar or a Magplar, for example. Like the class is just above it. So I mean, looking at it objectively, B is where it would sit. But from its max potential and where I'm going to sit it, right? okay, because I'm frustrated with bombers, and I think they're overpowered as shit right now, or at least overused. I'm putting it as an S tier because, yeah, bombers are performing really well. Really, really well. But yeah, I wanted to evaluate from both perspectives. So some people are like, bombing isn't 1vx. I see it as 1vx. But yeah, those are both your perspectives for you then. Stamblade. Stamblade, now this is a hard one for me because I want to put it in S tier or A+. And I think it just makes it into S tier this patch. Now last patch it was hands down S tier, like the best class, like, in my opinion, right? Because it was no proc meta and Stamblades always performed well just on a stat based meta, right? However, damage is still really high this patch. Still amazingly high. The amount of damage you can get on a Stamblade is unreal and still be able to have sustain. And then you can shade. Pardon me. You can still shade and teleport away. You can reset a fight whenever the hell you want. If you put a good Stamblade on this, I'm trying to think of a good Stamblade off the top of my head. Yeah, no good Stamblade. I know there's one name that I've been seeing around, but no real good Stamblade comes to mind, like off names. But yeah, I have seen some Stamblades going around, and they have been Xing on it like crazy. I'm gonna remember the name of the guy that I was thinking of earlier. I've seen him in stream Xing. Yeah, but anyway, Stamblades, awesome. Right. Then we'll go on to Magden. Now Magden, as I feel like it sits with like when we're not talking about Magblade, so Magblade as a non-bomber, I think it sits with Magblade, right? And that is purely because it's got good burst and good pressure. It doesn't have really strong burst or really strong pressure. You have to build. If you have really strong pressure, you don't really have burst. If you've got really good burst, you don't really have the pressure. It's kind of like it's kind of balanced. I won't lie. I'm not scared of Magdens this patch, especially not 1vx Magdens, and maybe 1v1 Magdens, but that's something completely different, right? But 1vx Magdens are sitting in a good place. I just think they're still lacking in comparison to like a Templar that can, you know, straight up cleanse everything away, do good pressure, good damage. Like I said, that just lacks the resistances to be able to do that. But Magden has to build tanky, otherwise it gets nuked, and then the pressure and burst is still weaker than Templar in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it's doing well. It's not doing bad by any means, right? Still above the Mag DK, right? But yeah, it could probably need some improvement in its class, yeah, for its skills and stuff, to make it 1vxable against the better players. Right. Damn Warden goes in here this patch. Yes, I am putting the Stam Warden A below the Stam Sork and below the Stam DK. People are going to hate on me like this because there are just so many people who love Stam Den and think Stam Den is the most overpowered thing that's ever been done. And after the health recovery nerf and after the Arctic Blast nerf, I really don't see those, like, it's much harder, right, to build tanky on a Stamina Warden, sorry. Went space for a second. Yeah, it's much harder to build tanky for a Stamina Warden and still do massive burst. So what I mean by this, right, is if you build tanky with the health recovery and the healing with Arctic Blast like you did last patch, you just wouldn't have the same kind of damage. So to reach that level of tankiness with the damage, this patch isn't attainable anymore. You can still play that playstyle, but you'll only be killing scrubs, or you'll need to team up, like the weaker players. But if you, say, build in a more damage orientated Stamden, you can get hella burst on Stamden still and still have decent amount of resistances and kind of struggle a bit with healing, I've noticed. But yeah, I think it's always better than the Templar, but Stam Sork for the streak, burst, and then Stam DK for its just amazing healing, burst, pressure, and tankiness with sustain. I just don't think it's competing against them two, but still by its own right, doing very, very well this patch. Right, moving on to Mag Necro then. And Mag Necro, again, I think it's sat at an A+ this patch. I don't know what it is. Magcro has just slowly been creeping up, and I think it's always been here actually, but I think it's just becoming more and more noticed. like you chuck on the self synergy that you get, right, with the harmony traits on your jewelry into a Dawnbreaker or Necro ulti. Like the Dawnbreaker now, like that magic classes can use the Dawnbreaker because it scales off your just max offensive stats rather than just physical stat or stamina weapon damage. Now that magic classes can use it properly as well, having that with Blast Bones and with the AoE synergy is amazing for 1v8s because you can drop so many players so well. And in its tankiness from being a Necro, like the passives in Necro are amazing. Sustain is really good. So sustain's there, tankiness is there, and burst potential is there. The thing that I think it still lacks is 1v1 pressure. However, with procs being back, you can get some proc sets to help you with that damage and build that pressure up. So if the pressure was there, like the 1v1 pressure was like really good as well, it would be an S tier. It would be like one of the best in the game. But for now, it's just 1v1 pressure is good. Now it is good, but the 1vx burst potential is amazing with tankiness and sustain. So yeah, A+. Sat there right. I think it's performing better than Magpla, right? And Magpla's at an A, so I think it's just doing it over the Magpla this patch, right? That's why I put the pluses in. I didn't want to do like S, A, B, C, D, E. I think they're really close. I think it's little things that are just edging certain classes in comparison to others, right? But then the B to C, because, you know, we don't need a C+. Like, Mag DK just needs to be in a league of its own. But yeah, Macro doing very, very well. Then, to finish off with the Stam Necro, where it differentiates with the Stam Necro of the Mag Necro, it still has a tankiness from the passives, still has its sustain, and it still has amazing burst with Blast Bones, uppercuts into say Dawnbreaker or Colossus or Spin to Win, however you want to run it. However, what Stamcro has that Magcro doesn't or doesn't do as well is it has great 1v1 pressure as well. Like Stamcro has amazing 1v1 pressure and amazing burst potential, which puts it in its league of its own, in all honesty. Like if I was to rate these, so I would go across here, right, if we were just to put these in order, right? So this one is kind of edging out like A plus S, this one solid S, and then like for bombers, best in slot right now. Bombers are best in slot. And then obviously mag blades, like normal non-bomber mag blades are down here. Then Stam Sork, I think Stam DK is performing better than Stam Sork. I think Magcro is performing better than Stam Sork. But I think Stam Sork is like here. It's like here, A plus borderline, but it's still an A plus. Stam DK performing very well. If it got buffed anymore, it would be an S, right? They don't need to touch Stam DK, perfect as it is. Now, that's a solid, Magpla is a solid A, Stamden, solid A, Stampler, solid B+, solid B, maybe edging up B+, but just behind, and then Mag DK could potentially be a D, or C-. But yeah, guys, overall, I'm very happy with how the classes are performing. Honestly, I think, well, the game's been out for 6 bloody years now, 6-7 years, so it's about bloody time that all classes should feel balanced. Everything should feel playable in a 1vx situation. Still par Mag DK. But yeah, guys, I am very happy with how class is performing. It's just performing. Performance now, serve performance. That is where we are lacking. But without any further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it somewhat interesting, helpful, something. But if you did, then please be sure to smash that like button. Drop a comment down in the comment section down below, because you know I always love to hear from you guys. Obviously, I'm going to have so many people with so many different opinions, and I'm prepared for that. But please go easy on me. I've done my best to provide my honest opinion from a neutral perspective of 1vx potential, coming from a 1vx main player. And then yeah, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all my latest content here at the Gaming Apple and become part of the Apple Army. And then guys, if you want to take it a step further, you can now join me and become a member. Members get access to some videos early. I'll be doing exclusive videos from you. You get your own badge to show your loyalty. I'll be having emojis soon. And then in the Discord, and the link for the Discord is down in the description below. But for the Discord now, we're approaching the 200 mark nearly for people on Discord. So you get your own Discord rank as well. And then your own community posts from being a member. So yeah, if you want to help support my channel further, become a member, guys. Always, well, really appreciated. But without any further ado, guys, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, my Twitch account is in the link. I'll be streaming over there soon. Right, peace out for now, guys. Bye-bye.